Hey, okay. Hey guys, NCWQ here. And since we had a mess up with my videos earlier, I'm going to play them live for you. I'm actually going to play part two, and then I'm going to play part one, which was the earthquake update. We also have memberships now. Everyone is welcome to join. These memberships do help the channel. And on top of that, I will have members only content, members only chats, and eventually members will have stickers and other things. So if you would like to join memberships, it is very, very much appreciated. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. Okay, I want to remind you guys of my website. This website here shows all of the Facebook groups that we have. And these are all the seismological links so that you can find different links to different seismic agencies and be able to keep up with what is going on in the world. Also, I want to remind you guys that I am now, um, this site here also has first aid. So you can go on here and learn different things to do with first aid. Um, Helps you out with everything you need to know about CPR as well as bandaging and much more. Now for our volcano news. When we are looking at the news 2 days ago, Indonesia's Ibu volcano erupted again, and this was the second time it spewed red hot lava. And this was on June 6th, and it fired bright red lava and rocks into the night sky and triggered a spectacular display of volcanic lightning. The 1,325-meter or 4,357-foot volcano on the eastern island of Halmahera erupted twice on Thursday. The first eruption was at 1:30 a.m. local time, spewing incandescent lava and rocks as lightning flashes were lighting up the crater. The second eruption was at 7:46 a.m. local time for 2 minutes, shooting volcanic ash as high as 1,200 meters or 4,000 feet. Clouds of gray ash billowed into the sky from the crater. The alert status of the volcano is still level 4, or the highest level there is. The agency banned activities within 7 kilometers of the crater. Thursday's volcanic activity was the latest in a series of eruptions since May. Ibu volcano also erupted on Tuesday, spewing 5 kilometers or 3 miles columns of gray ash into the sky. Authorities have evacuated 7 villages nearby since May 16th, but no new evacuation planned on the latest eruption. Indonesia sits on the geologically active Pacific Ring of Fire and has 127 active volcanoes. Boy, that's a lot of volcanoes. Last month, the eruption of Ruang volcano in North Sulawesi province forced the evacuation of more than 12,000 people. At least 60 people were killed last month during the flash floods and cold lava flows from Mount Merapi, one of the most active volcanoes in West Sumatra province. As we might have suggested, there was another volcano which is now at alert level 2, and that is Canalon volcano. This is in Manila, Philippines. And it is too early to lower Canalon volcano's alert level. And The Philobox said 14 volcanic earthquakes were logged from midnight June 6th to midnight June 7th. The recent data is lower than 27 and 53 volcanic earthquakes detected from June 5th to 6th and June 4th to 5th. 4 days Palang since Kanalan volcano erupted. So they have to check this every day and then observe this for longer periods, at least 2 weeks, and that's according to Bakal. So it's only been 4 days since Canelon erupted, so they have to check every day and observe it for a more extended period, or at least 2 weeks. Just so y'all know, archaeologists have discovered records of Pompeii survivors, proving famous eruption didn't kill everyone. And this was written by someone at Miami University, so I'm going to try to read it. It says on August 24th in AD 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted, shooting over 3 cubic miles of debris up to 20 miles in the air. As the ash and rock fell to earth, it buried ancient cities like Pompeii and Herculaneum. According to the most modern accounts, the story pretty much ends there. Both cities were wiped out, their people frozen in time. It only picks up with the rediscovery of the cities and the evacuations that started in earnest in the 1740s. But recent research has shifted to the narrative. The story of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius is no longer one about annihilation. It also includes the stories of those who survived the eruption and went on to rebuild their lives. The search for survivors and their stories has dominated the past decade of archaeological fieldwork. And as I've tried to figure out who might have escaped the eruption, some of my findings are featured in the episode of the new PBS documentary, Pompeii, the New Dig. Pompeii and Herculaneum were two wealthy cities on the coast of Italy just south of Naples. Pompeii was a community of about 30,000 people that hosted thriving industry and active political and financial networks. Herculaneum was a population of about 5,000, had an active fishing fleet, and a number of marble workshops. Both economies supported the villas of wealthy Romans in the surrounding countryside. In popular culture, the eruption is usually depicted as an apocalyptic event with no survivors. But the evidence that people could have escaped was always there. The eruption itself continued for over 18 hours. The human remains found in each city account for only a fraction of their populations, and many objects you might have expected to remain and be preserved in ash are missing. Carts and horses are gone from stables, ships missing from docks, and strong boxes cleaned out of money and jewelry. All this suggests that many, if not most, of the people in those cities could have escaped if they fled early enough. Some archaeologists have always assumed that some people escaped, but searching for them has never been a priority. So this person created a methodology to determine if survivors could be found. And this is the writer of the article here. I took Roman names unique to Pompeii or Herculaneum, such as Numerius Papadius and Ulus Umbricius, and searched for people with those names who lived in surrounding communities in the period after the eruption. I also looked for additional evidence, such as improved infrastructure in neighboring communities to accommodate migrants. After 8 years of scouring databases of tens of thousands of Roman inscriptions on places ranging from walls to tombstones, I found evidence of over 200 survivors in 12 cities. Those municipalities are primarily in the general area of Pompeii, but they tended to be north of Mount Vesuvius outside the zone of the greatest destruction. It seems as though most survivors stayed as close as they could to Pompeii. They preferred to settle with other survivors, and they relied on social and economic networks from their original cities as they resettled. Some migrants prosper. Some of the families that escaped apparently went on to thrive in their new communities. The Caltilus family resettled in Ostia, what was then a major port city of the north of Pompeii, 18 miles from Rome. There they founded a temple to the Egyptian deity Serapis. Serapis, who wore a basket of grain on his head to symbolize the bounty of the earth, was popular in harbor cities like Ostoa, dominated by a grain trade. Those cities are built on grand, expensive tomb complex decorated with inscriptions and large portraits of family members. Members of the Caletius family married into another family of escapees, the Munontises. Together they created a wealthy, successful, extended family. The second busiest port city of Roman Italy, Puteolia, Puteoli, was known as Pozzuoli today, also welcomed survivors of Pompeii. The family of Ullus Umbricus, who was a merchant of Garum, a popular fermented fish sauce, resettled there. After reviving the family's garum business, Ullus and his wife named their firstborn children after their adopted city, the Putulian. So his name was Putulanus. Others fell on hard times. Not all survivors of the eruption were wealthy or went on to find success in their new communities. Some had already been poor to begin with. Others seemed to have lost their family fortunes, perhaps in the eruption itself. Fabia Secundina from Pompeii, apparently named after her grandfather, a wealthy wine merchant, also ended up in Putulo. There she married a gladiator, Aquarius, the Rhetarius, who died at the age of 25, leaving her in dire financial straits. Three other very poor families of Pompeii, Iziani, Attili, and Masuri families, settled and resettled in a small poor community called Nuceria, which goes by Nocera today and is about 10 miles or 16.1 kilometers east of Pompeii. According to the tombstones that still exist, the Masuri family took in a boy named Avinius or Felicio as a foster son, notably in 160 years of Roman Pompeii. There was no evidence of any foster children, and extended families usually took in orphan children. For this reason, it is likely that Felicio didn't have any surviving family members. This small example illustrates a larger pattern of generosity of migrants, even impoverished ones, towards other survivors in their new communities. They didn't just take care of each other, they also donated to the religious and civic institutions of their new homes. So, how would survivors be treated today? While survivors resettled and built lives in their new communities, government played a role there as well. The Empress of Rome invested heavily in the region, rebuilding properties damaged by the eruption and building new infrastructure for displaced populations, including water systems, amphitheaters, and temples. This model for post-disaster recovery could be a lesson for today. The cost of funding the recovery never seems to have been debated. Survivors were not isolated into camps, nor were they forced to live indefinitely in tent cities. There's no evidence that they encountered discrimination in their new communities. Instead, all signs indicate that the communities welcomed the other survivors. Many of them went on to open their own businesses and hold positions in local government. The new government responded by ensuring that the new populations and their communities had the resources and infrastructure to rebuild their lives. So anyways, this was written by Stephen L. Tuck, and he's a professor of classics with Miami University. I found this to be very interesting, and history has always been a big thing in my life. So big shout out to Stephen L. Tuck for his research. So as far as Kilauea goes, this is 4 hours ago from West Hawaii today, and they state in Kilauea began erupting from fissures southwest of Kulapele, the summit caldera, just after midnight on June 3rd. The eruption ceased just 9 hours later, though lava flows continued to slowly spread for several more hours. Prior to the brief eruption, the USGS Hawaii Volcanic Observatory have been monitoring pulses of heightened seismic activity in the summit area for weeks. They're stating that the earthquakes give them insight into the features of the molten magma below and the eruption that was to come. Earthquakes result from the breaking of cooler brittle rock. As that magma moves into the area, it forces the surrounding rock to bend and then break. This brittle rock failure is what seismologists at the HVO see daily on live data streams as earthquakes. The location of earthquakes can outline magma chambers, indicate fault movement, or show where magma is moving into a new area. At Kilauea, earthquake swarms paired with changes in ground motion as seen on tiltmeters gives HVO scientists an idea of the pressurization of magma chambers beneath the surface. The proposed magma plumbing system at Kilauea is divided into three chambers: the Halimai Reservoir and the new Caldera Reservoir and Kinakalui Reservoir. In the weeks leading up to Monday's eruption, there were three distinct periods of heightened unrest, from April 27th to May 3rd, May 6th to 9th, and May 17th to 18th. Two distinct clusters of earthquakes occurred on the South Caldera and the Upper East Rift Zone. During these swarms, earthquakes located often switch between the South Caldera cluster and the Upper East Rift Zone cluster as magma pressure levels fluctuated within the different storage regions. The event counts at the South Caldera cluster increased while the counts at the Upper East Rift cluster diminished as the system moved closer to eruption. Rates of ground tilt measured by summit tiltmeters would also increase during the earthquake swarms, indicating an increased pulse of magma was accumulating near the surface. Although the earthquakes occurred in distinct clusters, they could have happened in response to the stresses created by magma chambers located nearby. For this reason, there were several scenarios. First, magma accumulation could stop and no eruption would occur. Magma accumulation could continue with an eruption at Kulapele, or magma could migrate to the southwest with either an intrusion, similar to the last January, or eruption. So anyways, for the last 12 hours, earthquakes of 4.1 shook the summit region until 12:30 a.m. Monday morning, when the fissure opened about 1 mile southwest of the caldera. The eruption happened in the vicinity of the ground cracks that formed in late January's intrusion. So Kilauea is not erupting at this time, and its USGS volcano alert level is advisory. So we shall be keeping an eye on this. 9 earthquakes are reported in the Hawaii Islands during the past week, just so you know.
There is electromagnetic energy in that pyramid.
Okay, so Maryland leaders are considering better protections for the Bay Bridge. This is after the Baltimore collapse. And they're talking about the Bay Bridge to the eastern shore to the beaches in Delaware and Maryland. They're stating that following the collapse of the Key Bridge in Baltimore, that people are thinking about how comfortable and how safe they feel on the Bay Bridge. Now let's look up the Bay Bridge, okay? So let me get my Google Earth up here real quick. The Bay Bridge, please. Virginia. I believe they're talking about the Chesapeake Bay Bridge here, because it says that just the sight of the Bay Bridge across the Chesapeake is enough to make some drivers grip the wheel a little tighter. So, we're talking about a bridge. This is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge here. I have been across that bridge, and it's scary. Okay, so I don't know if they have any views from this bridge, but let's see if they do. Alright, so let's go here. then you can see how skinny this bridge is. 4 miles of driving across this bridge. It is white knuckle territory. I have driven across it. I used to live on the eastern shores of Virginia when I was really little, but I have been across it as an adult. And these little, holes here don't make you feel much safer driving across the bridge itself. So anyway, they're citing that just the side of the Bay Bridge across the Chesapeake is enough to make some drivers grip the wheel a little tighter. A lot of people have a hard time driving across a 4 mile long bridge. Nonetheless, before the collapse of the Key Bridge, most of us wouldn't have flinched at the sight of the massive ship going right under the bridge. But in the early morning of March 26th, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore was struck by a cargo ship and collapsed into the water below, killing 6 workers. In an instant, everything changed, and now safety is top of mind. There has been confirmation that Maryland transportation leaders will be taking a look at better safety protections for this Bay Bridge. The National Transportation Safety Board is saying that they are finding urgent safety recommendations that need to be made following the Key Bridge collapse. We'll do so immediately. If and when the NTSB makes those recommendations, McAndrews says state officials will begin listening closely. There's been a lot of talk about so-called dolphins, protective barriers that could redirect a ship from hitting the support piers of the bridge. And in other parts of the county, those protections are becoming much more common. And that's with newer bridges. In contrast, the Bay Bridge is now more than 70 years old. It has fenders to protect piers, but no dolphins. At Sandy Point State Park, next to the Bay Bridge, Luis Ostero and Savannah Willis are reminded of the Key Bridge collapse. They stated they are terrified of bridges, so honestly it makes them not want to go under or on bridges anymore. A fisherman named Zeno says he hopes the state keeps the bridges in good shape. Hey you guys, thank you for stopping by. It is 9:50 a.m. and we're going to go over some earthquakes and then world news this afternoon. So as we're looking at EMSC, these are the earthquakes that are listed for today. And we're going to look at these in Google Earth, as I have already inputted them into Google Earth. Go back as far as 8 hours and 39 minutes ago on EMSC, so let's go to Google Earth. We are going to start up here in the United States, and this is all coming from EMSC. So let's start here on the west coast. We can see we've had a 2.6 earthquake, which is hitting on let's get this correct here, on the Butte Creek fault zone. Now this fault zone has a capability of a magnitude 7. So we can see where this is located. And this is like Almanar. So as we move on down here, you can see that there was another earthquake, and it was a 2.0. This is the greater Los Angeles, California area. Let's click on this. We can see that this earthquake was a depth of 11 kilometers. So let's get on in here. We can see that this is the Elysian Park Upper Fault, and it has a capability of a 6.6. Now what is in this area here? We have a bunch of freeways here. So that is freeway. And then you got California State University right here. Interesting. So as we move on down here, let's actually go across country. We can see that we have a small storm over here in western Texas with 2.1, 2.1, 2.1, 2.3. And what are you? I think this is an untitled place mark, so not to be worried about that one. Then we go over here to Oklahoma, and there was a 2.1 in Oklahoma. That is nothing. Yesterday, there was an earthquake near Atlanta, Georgia, which was felt. Now, as we head on up here in the United States, we can see in Idaho, there was a 2.3. That's southern Idaho. So let's move on down out of the United States. We'll go over here real quick so I don't miss this area again. There was a 3.3 in Dominican Republic region and a 3.0 in Dominican Republic region. Just peek on in here real quick, see if we see anything of interest. And nothing very interesting other than that looks like a cloud is making the land really dark. Now we can see that this earthquake here was striking near the oceanic convergent boundary. So let's head on down out of the United States here. You can see that there was an earthquake over here. This would be Baja California, Mexico. So that is a 2.0, and that's a 2.0 here in California. As I stated before, they tend to mimic each other in size. So when you see a 2 here in Mexico, you may see a 2 here in Los Angeles. Now we have also had a 4 in the Gulf of California. Any takers on that? We will probably see another 4.0 up here in this area. As we move on down out of the Baja California and the Gulf of California, we move on over here near Oaxaca. This is Oaxaca here, and this is Chiapas there. So this is a 4.0 offshore Oaxaca, Mexico. This one here is a 4.4 offshore Chiapas, Mexico. As we move on down here, we have Honduras and Nicaragua. We also have Costa Rica here, but both of these are in front of Honduras and Nicaragua. You can see this one here is a 2.5 off the coast of Costa Rica. And we have the 3.2, a 2.8, and a 3.5 off of Nicaragua, and a 2.7 near the coast of Nicaragua. Let's go on down here around the corner, and we have a 4.2 in northern Peru. As we move on down here, we have a 4.8 Carapaca, Chile. Now I want to do something real quick, so if y'all will wait 1 second, I'm going to do this real fast. You'll bear with me. Okay, I am resetting something because I think I missed one. Oops, sorry you guys. Okay, I think I've got this now. If not, I will reset it again. Okay, where did you go? Let me get back over here to the United States. Okay, we had an earthquake over here, which was in Veracruz, Mexico. It was also a 4.1. We had a 3.0 and a 2.7 near the coast of Nicaragua. As we move on down here, around the bend with Panama, we're going to move over here. Let's see, we had a 4.2 in northern Peru. And we had a 4.8 Tarapaca, Chile, and a 3.2 Antofagasta, Chile. I don't know why I have this 4.7 that big. I don't think I need it there. Where are you located? Let me find you real fast. don't know why this 4.7 is sticking out like that. I am trying to locate it, and I don't seem to have it on my maps here. But I do. Okay. So, okay, so we don't have any more messes here. There's that 3.2 Antofagasta, Chile. This 3.2 Salta, Argentina. And this 3.0 Salta, Argentina. This one is hitting right near Aracar volcano. That is a stratovolcano. Let's see here. This is a stratovolcano, which is having an earthquake. Well, it's right on the outside of it, so we're going to say that that volcano field is agitated. This one here is Tuzco, Cerro, and it's also a stratovolcano. So as we move on down here, we've had a 4.0 Atacama, Chile, a 3.3 San Juan, Argentina, a 3.0 and 3.2 San Juan, Argentina. Back over here, there's been a 2.9 Coquimbo, Chile, and a 4.6 Valparaiso, Chile. Busy, busy. As we follow on around through the South Sandwich Islands, I do not see anything here. Someone around down here. This is New Zealand area. Looks as though there's been a 3.2 and a 3.4 off the east coast of the North Island of New Zealand. There was a 5.0 the other day. Come on up here. I'm not seeing anything near Wallis and Fortuna or Fiji. And remember, you guys, it's still morning time. There was a 4.5 Bougainville region, Papua New Guinea. Then we've also had a 4.4 near the north coast of Papua New Guinea as well. So I guess we should go up this way first and see if I see any earthquakes. And yes, there is one. We have had a 4.3 in Markovskaya, Ostrova region. That would be Russia. There has also been a 2.4, 2.5, and 2.9. And this is Central Alaska. There's also been a 2.4 Southern Alaska. So we don't need to go around that way again. There's been a 2.4, 3.6, and 2.5 Central Alaska. So let's follow back on around this way. Okay. Now, get myself all discombobulated here. We are traveling around. We can see that there has been a 3.4 off the east coast of the North Island of New Zealand and 3.2 off the east coast of the North Island of New Zealand. I think I just got lost. I did. Looking at Australia here. Okay, so back up this way. Follow one around. I am sorry, I went the wrong way. There's been a 2.9 Java, Indonesia. Hey, that happens. I get lost often. There has been a 3.3 Myanmar. I'm not really seeing any more earthquakes over here. Here's all the ones for Turkey. Been a 2.0, a 3.5, a 1.5. We got all of these are one point something, 1.7 and 1.4, a 1.8 and 1.0, 1.6, 0.9, 1.2, 0.8, 1.6, 1.0, 1.2, 1.2, 1.1, 1.6111. Now we have a 2.3 over in Creek Grease, a 1.2, a 2.0. These are Southern Grease, 2.3 Southern Grease, a 3.0 Ionian Sea, a 2.1 Grease, and a 2.3. Following around, I am not going to go up and around this way because I don't see any over here, except for this 2.7 Republic of Macedonia. That's North Macedonia. 1 second, please. I need a drink of water. Okay, if we're looking at Italy here, actually, let's go back up here. We'll go to Switzerland first because I like Switzerland. There's been a 0.8, a 2.8, a 1.8, and a 1.1 in Switzerland. Followed down here, there's been a 2.0, Central Italy, 2.1 Central Italy, a 3.0, 3.7, 2.7, and 2.3 Southern Italy. And down here on the booth, there has been a 2.0 in Southern Italy. We've also had a 1.8 in Spain. Now, if we're looking out here, you can see it does not show that there has been any in Iceland region here, so I'm going to look at something real fast. And I want to pull something up, and then we will see what earthquakes have happened in Iceland today. So today's Saturday, so if we're looking at Saturday, we can see that they have had all these earthquakes here, all zeros. There's a 1.5, there's a 2.1, so that was 10 kilometers deep. And I did not see that shown on EMSC at all, but that is a 2.1 that occurred. And then this starts Friday here. So if you're looking, all of this is for Iceland for today. What else am I missing here? Let's see here. This is Geonet. So we're looking at all. Today is Sunday in New Zealand. So you can see these are the earthquakes that have occurred already for today. So it is Sunday time. So they've had a 2.2, 1.6, 1.0, 1.4, a 1.6, a 1.3, and a 1.0. And you don't see those on EMSC either. Okay, guys. For watching my Saturday update. I hope y'all are having a great day. I am working on trying to still figure out how to get my car's oil leak fixed. If anybody would like to help, I will have a PayPal link below the video. I'm trying to get up to $400 so that I can pay the guy, the mechanic, and get the parts as needed to fix the leak. If you would like to help, it would be very, very much appreciated. Also, please remember that I have memberships on the channel now. Please remember that there is also a website where you can get links to seismicity and to the Facebook groups. Those are important. Also, please remember to like, subscribe, share the video, and I... Is that better? I just unplugged part of my headset. Are y'all hearing me now? Ooh, thank you. I think the issue was my USB port for my headset. So what I was trying to explain, and I am so sorry for the issues here. I unplugged the USB to reset my headset. Y'all did hear the video okay, right? That's important to me. Okay, so what I was explaining happened. Yesterday I was getting zapped by simple metal tools on the roof that were not even on a conducting surface, but because it was up in the air on top of the roof, the static electricity was very high. Ouch. Okay, so what I was explaining was that my computer is having some kind of glitches today. YouTube is having some kind of glitches today, I think. Either that or they just don't like information technology. So what happened is I was trying to create both parts of the video as one video. And when I tried to create the video as one video, 1 second. Okay, sorry, you guys. So when I was trying to create the videos as one video, it was a problem that it wouldn't splice. It kept stopping me from being able to create one video. So therefore, when I decided, well, I'll upload it as two parts of a video. So when I went to upload it as two parts of a video, the first half wouldn't upload as fast as the second one. So I uploaded two parts of the video. The second half took 45 minutes and the first half took an hour. So the second part of the video came out first and then the second part, the first part of the video came out 15 minutes later. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just do this whole video, these videos live. Only problem was is I had to do a second part and then first part because I couldn't add to the first part of the video what I needed for the first part of the video, which was my video. So I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Because when I create my own videos, I like to do them myself. So let's do this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is what would be the first part of my video. So let me show you. This would have been the first part of my video. Oops, then it opened on the wrong side. So that's the first part of my video there. So because it wouldn't open correctly, I couldn't add it to the first part of my video. And I know I've showed y'all before the creator that I have. I use Photos Legacy because you can create videos through there. Only problem was is it just kept stopping, like it would stop and then wouldn't move. Kind of like what YouTube did to my video. And I've never had that issue before with creating videos. So I went through and I was deleting old videos, old files, old stuff, trying to figure out if it was because I had too much saved on the computer and online, which would be through Microsoft. And that wasn't the issue. Now Microsoft is telling me that if I want to save anything, I have 30 days to do so. I don't need anything from the past, as far as I know. And mourners, thank you for being here and for being in my chat today. And you had one question. You said, how come there's only two people? Well, the honest truth is, I don't know. I make videos. I do long videos sometimes. I do short videos sometimes. And I can't answer that question. I don't know. It's Saturday here in the United States, and I would expect that there would be more people interested in live stream, interested in earthquake update, interested in volcano update, interested in bridge updates, and so forth. So I don't know. And you asked a good question. I would love to know, but I don't know. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to end this live video right here so that other people can watch the live video and see the information that has been posted. I love you all, and I hope you all have a really great day. Um, I'm considering it's already 2:44, so I'm done with live streaming today, and I may or may not be on tomorrow. Anyways, you guys, much love, God bless, and thank you for being here today.